All right, Derby fans, we are just about ready to get underway with our next bout here. Within the next couple of minutes, we would like to welcome you to the final bout of the evening. Bout number 6 of Chingadera 2019. It is the San Diego Derby United Wildfires against the Arizona Derby Dames Hotshots. Let's get to it with some team introductions.
Okay.
First up, skating for San Diego, number 1022, Heartland. Number 11, your co-captain, Riled Up. Number 13, Mighty Ducky. Number 360, Isabel Ringer. Number 389, your captain, Stiletto. Number 394, Helenor. Number 4, Bryn Diesel. Number 40, Tiger Lily. Number 408, Taffy. Number 5050, Cheap Trick. Number 7, Slamurai. Number 805, Hetty Lascar. It's Headley. Number 9 3/4, Nocturne Alley. And number 99, Wreck-'em Ralph.
And skating tonight for your Arizona Derby Dames Hotshots, OMG, she's killing May Smalls. Number 1, Ellie Mayhem. At 101, she's Hurricane May. 192, Milani Mangler. 2187, Princess Leia. 34, Pretty Hurt Machine. Number 55, Skid Vicious. 623, Hollywood. Number 669, Nikki Badass. Number 724, Dolly Spartan. 772, Ala Annihilation. Number 95 is Lightning the Queen. Your co-captain, number 2323, Quiver Phoenix. And your captain tonight, number 666, Witchy Woman. We bring you out to the desert from San Diego and Arizona and everywhere, and it is cold.
Derby fans, for those of us in attendance here, could I just get a round of applause for all of the volunteers that make this tournament go? And I'd like to get a round of applause for our referee crew. These referees have been on their feet for about, 10 hours and counting now, helping keep things sane and helping keep people from punching each other's faces in all day long, the referee crew. And I'm not just saying that because I'm married to one. Curry a little favor,
Right.
Come on, honey, I gave you a shout out. Why don't you scoop the litter boxes tonight?
Dora texts me, make sure you say 666 for Witchy.
Yeah.
It's always when you come in this corner, so you have to decide, are you going on the outside or are you going to cut the inside? All right, and it's ready.
And with that whistle, we are ready to get underway. It's the final event of the evening, and starting off on the jammer line for San Diego is number 1022, Heartland. And it's a tightly bunched pack right now. The Arizona Jammer, who escaped before we got a good look at who it was, unfortunately, is now coming around the corner, and that is going.
That's Hurricane May, and she is flying around the track.
Goodness. I was gone. She went by so fast I couldn't tell who it was.
Right?
Literally. Well, there she goes again, Hurricane May once again. Old Greg's not wearing his best glasses tonight, okay? There goes Heartland out of the pack for San Diego with the Jammer star on her head. Hurricane May completing another scoring pass, slides by along the inside. And we will wait for the official score from the referees. And it's going to be 9 points on the board for Arizona to get the scoring started. Right now on the jammer line, it's Stiletto for San Diego and Milani Mangler for Arizona.
Milani Mangler gets taken down to the infield in a big smash up in turn 1.
And now racing along the outside, Milani Mangler to the front of the pack, and she is your lead jammer. Stiletto now manages to stay on her skates there. There's a little stumble going down the front straightaway, but is out of the pack as well. And Milani Mangler up into the pack and being routed off onto the infield calls off the jam. Both jammers there supporting very similar hairstyles. Both jammers here supporting very similar hairstyles.
Cheap trick out there for San Diego. That's Skid Vicious for your Derby names. San Diego did pick up 1 penalty. They're down a blocker. No? They should be down a blocker.
Got the numbers all sorted out now. So we got a skater advantage for Arizona here. Skid Vicious trying to find her way through the pack up to the outside. Bumped up into the rail, but able to angle her way around a defender, and Skid Vicious is out and clear. Lead jammer for Arizona. San Diego jammer Cheap Trick pinned up to the outside by 2 Arizona defenders. Skid Vicious now finding her way through the pack, trying to race that pivot, and manages to beat the pivot to the corner. Pivot taking a tumble there. Skid Vicious coming around for a second scoring pass. Skid Vicious now making a scoring pass. San Diego currently nobody wearing the star cover. And we'll have to wait to see where it went to. Luckily, we're in the middle of a cover pass of it. There she goes. It is back on with Cheap Trick, and she is out and around and out of the pack. And that's
Skid
going
Vicious
to do
fighting
it for
against
the jam.
Skid Vicious out there doing battle with Riled Up. Riled Up takes her to the infield.
Another 9 points on the board for Arizona there for Skid Vicious. Jamming for Arizona, number 34, Pretty Hurt Machine. And your San Diego jammer, number 4, Bryn Diesel. As this jam is underway, both jammers swinging from inside to outside, trying to find an opening. Pretty Hurt Machine pinned in behind 3 blue jerseys at the back of the pack, while Bryn Diesel tried to fight her way forward at the front of the pack. And there goes Pretty Hurt Machine using that to her advantage. Bryn Diesel out as well, about a third of a track behind at this point. So both jammers now making their way around. Pretty Hurt Machine up to the outside, manages to spin her way past a couple of San Diego defenders and calls off the jam. So literally a couple of defenders equals 2 points in this case.
Here comes Heartland again, and Dolly Spartan for the Hot Shots.
And we have an official timeout. So the referee's going to get together and discuss a little bit there.
Arizona Jammers getting out every time tonight so far.
Score right now, clock stopped with 10:41 to go here in the first quarter. Arizona 23, San Diego no score. Like
Hey.
go ahead.
Hey folks, while we're here talking about Lost Dutchman Tattoo, local tattoo shop specializing in all sorts of styles. Go visit them on the east side of 19th Avenue of Indian School and 19th Avenue.
Yeah, also they are offering a $50 custom 3-inch tattoo to skaters. Appointments available all day tomorrow, so give them a call. Talk to any Arizona skater. They'll put you in touch with Lost Dutchman. The action back underway after the timeout. It's Dolly Spartan jamming for Arizona, and it's Heartland jamming for San Diego. And it is a large cluster of people heading into the corner right now. A couple of skaters down. Now Dolly Spartan to the outside. And Dolly Spartan races that last San Diego defender to the corner. And Dolly Spartan is your lead jammer for Arizona. Heartland now making a play for the front. Spins out of control into the infield. Has to get up and reestablish while Dolly Spartan lays out a defender in the back of the pack and trying to find her way around the outside. Dolly Spartan able to get by Riled Up on a scoring pass. San Diego now has executed a star cover pass, and the pivot now will be putting that on. Dolly Spartan into the pack on a scoring pass and gets through. Partially through before the clock expires.
Penalty on Dolly Spartan. Looks like Dolly Spartan picked up a penalty there in that last jam. Going to be a power jam for San Diego.
So stepping to the jammer line all by her lonesome now for San Diego is Stiletto, the captain, number 389. So obviously a great opportunity for San Diego to get on the board here as we approach the halfway point of the first quarter. Within the next minute or so, Stiletto now to the front of the pack. Still a solid wall of Arizona defenders up there. Stiletto down to the inside, literally ducks under somebody. And Stiletto out to the front of the pack. I've never seen a skater go 5-hole before, but that was pretty close. Stiletto runs into a solid wall of Arizona jerseys, tries to find a weak spot, and able, with a little bit of help from her offense, is able to shake her way through on a scoring pass. 15 seconds to go in the San Diego power jam as Stiletto now catching up.
San Diego putting some points on the board in this penalty jam, this power jam.
San Diego holding the pack up. Arizona defenders trying to come together and escort the skater onto the infield. Successful one time. We will wait and see.
Here comes Hurricane May for the Hot Shots and Cheap Trick for the Wildfires.
And 9 points on the board for San Diego. 9-point power jam. Hurricane May, who got things off to a wonderful start for the Arizona side in the first jam of the game. This time pinned in their blue jerseys, forcing her down onto the infield. Cheap Trick for San Diego up to the outside. Similarly unable to do much of anything yet. Now breaks free, racing to the front of the pack, up to the outside. Not quite able to get clear. The defense is able to recycle. Hurricane May thought she had an opening and pushed off onto the infield. Still a defensive struggle here as we got 15 seconds to go in the jam. Both sides have formed defensive walls and holding in their respective jammers. Now we've got some action going on. And emerging out the front is Hurricane May. And the star was passed to the pivot for San Diego. We'll wait to get a check on the number as they come around. But it is a moot point anyway. Like a cow's opinion, it does not matter. And the jam is over. And we've got an official timeout to discuss some of the goings on there. So referees coming together to talk it up. I'd like to let you know one more time as the chill settles over the valley of the frigid sun, and we're expecting overnight lows that could dip into the gasp 30s. Tomorrow morning, hot, fresh coffee available from Copper Star Coffee. So as a reminder, if you're looking for something to perk you up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for our first bout.
Get yourself a breakfast bagel sandwich, too.
Wow.
Breakfast bagel.
Yeah, there you go. I may avail myself of that opportunity.
But if you're hungry right now, go see Off the Hook Taco Truck. The Off the Hook Taco Truck, a locally owned, operated taco truck serving Southern California Baja-inspired cuisine. Visit them outside for some delicious food. I already had me an LBC fries earlier.
And, of course, outside as well is the Fantasy Funnel Cake. I had to think of the name because we just call it the Funnel Cake trailer.
Right.
Fantasy Funnel Cake. They have a name, folks. Fantasy Funnel Cake out there as well, offering you fantastic fried goods, sweets, savories. They have soft pretzels with cheese dip.
Churros.
Wonderful. Yeah, churros.
Oh, my God.
Churros, my goodness.
Looks like the referees got a lot of penalties on that last jam, including a penalty on the Hot Shots jammer, Hurricane May, for arms. It's going to be a San Diego power jam here, but they don't have very many blockers because their blockers picked up a bunch of penalties.
All right, so that is the reset here.
So-
Arizona with a full complement of 4 blockers out there, but no jammer. San Diego with the only jammer, but only 2 blockers.
And that's Heartland out there going to try to break through that 4 wall of Hot Shot blockers.
Arizona able to spin out of the goat situation. That's when a skater gets pinned in behind the blockers wall and able to get their blockers together at the front of the pack. So the blocker's not pushed out of play. Now it's incumbent on Heartland to try to find her way through. There's an Arizona defender now trying to play some interference as well. So the strategy, the beautiful, wonderful, fluid strategy that goes into something like this is really interesting to watch as a fan of the sport. In specifically a jam like this, it really is. 5 seconds to go in the San Diego Power Jam. Heartland's just going to coast along behind the wall there, and that's going to do it for the Power Jam, and an appreciative cheer goes up from the home crowd here in Arizona. Excellent defense by the Hot Shots.
Bryn Diesel out there for the Wildfires now. That's Skid Vicious for the Hot Shots. Couple Skid Vicious fans in the house. Slow pack, and both jammers are fighting hard to get out. Skid finds the low, and she's off. She's your lead jammer. Bryn Diesel, though, fighting Killing May Smalls, and Nikki Badass dances along the coping, but not able to find it. She's back at the back of the pack now. Skid Vicious sets up her scoring run.
And Bryn Diesel able to find a seam in the defense and get through. Skid Vicious follows through as well, so she gets through, gets her points, and calls off the jam. Stepping up to the jammer line for Arizona, it's Holly Hood. Going up against Stiletto for San Diego. Both jammers very patiently and cautiously approach the pack, and then everything sprang to life suddenly. Like a motion detector that was tripped. It was great. Holly Hood to the inside now. Stiletto trying to get by on the outside. Now to the inside, bumped off onto the infield. Back up, and then she dispenses with that last blocker, and Stiletto is clear of the pack. Holly Hood now shakes loose as well, and Holly Hood's got her head down, is going to go try to get her. Stiletto's going to get back to the pack and manages to leap over an Arizona blocker there, jump the last little bit of the turn, and get through to execute a very nifty little scoring pass.
That was amazing. One jump was 4 points.
Absolutely. So 4 points on the board for San Diego. With 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, your score is Arizona 36, San Diego 13. Dolly Spartan jamming this time for Arizona up against Cheap Trick for San Diego. Dolly Spartan quickly to the front of the pack, able to get around that last defender. And Dolly Spartan is your lead jammer. Cheap Trick still hemmed in mid-pack, trying to get through. Dolly Spartan able to stay on her skates, getting through the corner. And will be coming around for a second scoring pass with 20 seconds to go in the jam. Cheap Trick tries to play a little bit of jammer defense and get in the way of Dolly Spartan coming through. And Cheap Trick now puts the star cover back on. And that's going to do it. Dolly Spartan goes ahead and burns the last few seconds off the jam clock.
And then it looks like Dolly Spartan picked up a cutting penalty on that jam. San Diego's going to get a power jam here.
So San Diego one more time now out there with the power jam. That is going to be your captain, Stiletto, for San Diego. With the power jam opportunity with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the quarter.
San Diego only trails by 33 points. This is a big chance to cut that penalty and cut that lead in half, but Arizona's got a full complement of blockers out there, so that's going to be really, real difficult for her to get through and make any points.
So that Arizona wall now is formed at the front of the pack. The San Diego blockers trying to get through. Similar situation to the last one. 2 San Diego blockers in the penalty box, so they only have 2 blockers on the power jam, and a full complement of 4 blockers for Arizona. And they've got arms linked and are not appearing to want to budge at all. And there, one of the Arizona defenders takes a spill down to the infield. Wall still able to come back together with 18 seconds to go here in the San Diego Power Jam. Arizona defenders now united up at the front. A block from one of the San Diego blockers is going to spring her loose. Almost and did not quite get free. And those Arizona defenders back together again, and that's going to do it for the Power Jam. Once again, the defense by Arizona. So with less than a minute to go here in the first quarter, we will set up for another jam. It is going to be Hurricane May for Arizona.
And that's Heartland out there for the Wildfires. Both jammers working hard trying to get through the pack in turns 1 and 2. Hurricane May out. She's your lead jammer. Heartland tied up with Killen May Smalls. Takes that star off and passes it. But the new jammer is immediately delivered to the infield by Lightning the Queen, and then followed up really fast by Nikki Badass.
Hurricane May to the front of the pack now, able to dispatch with the last blocker for San Diego and get clear on a scoring pass. Looks like the star has been passed by San Diego. We've got a new jammer taking over for San Diego with 12 seconds to go in the jam. Hurricane May spun through. Go ahead and gets up and calls off the jam. And that is going to do it for the first quarter. 7 points during that jam for the Arizona Hotshots. So we will step aside for a brief 5-minute break. Your score right now, Arizona 53, San Diego 13.
Yes, we know. Thank you, we're aware. Also, I watched the Arizona Hotshots, the new football team.
Yeah.
Last
I didn't know
Saturday.
we had a football team.
Yeah, it's a new league. They're trying to yet another league trying to position itself as the
Yeah.
major league of the NFL.
Okay.
The
Summertime
Alliance
football.
of American Football, and they kicked off last weekend. And Arizona's got a team that plays out of Sun Belt Stadium. They're called the Arizona Hotshots.
Someone should tell them that that's already a thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, they're called the Arizona. It's. I watched part of the first game. Like there's teams in 8 cities. It's like Birmingham, Memphis, San Diego.
San Diego got one, yeah.
Atlanta, here, Salt Lake, and there's an 8th one. I can't think of where.
Was it fun to watch, though?
What's that?
Was it fun to watch?
It was all right. Honestly, I watched it. It was like, okay, this looks like preseason NFL football, which is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's their big thing. No kickoffs.
with that whistle, we are going to get back to the action. It was a nice little 5-minute nap. We are back to the action here. Arizona 53, San Diego 13. And we are right underway and right to the action. Princess Leia jamming for Arizona, and Leia is out and clear and is lead jammer for the Arizona Hotshots. San Diego jammer trying to get her way around, and now the San Diego jammer clear as well. That was Heartland jamming for San Diego. And 3 points picked up by Princess Leia there. Setting up to jam now for San Diego is going to be Stiletto. And for Arizona, that is Dolly Spartan. That is Quiver Phoenix for Arizona. Excuse me, I am sorry.
Quiver Phoenix jamming for the first time tonight for the Hotshots.
Indeed, indeed. And Quiver Phoenix able to get through the pack, and Quiver Phoenix is clear and is the lead jammer for Arizona.
I know, right?
So Quiver Phoenix now up into the pack, while the San Diego jammer trying to fight her way through along the inside, just runs out of real estate and escorted off down there onto the infield. And Quiver Phoenix tried to hang on to the inside there. Phoenix now back up at the back of the pack. 13 seconds to go here in the jam. Phoenix now looking for some purchase along the outside. Gets spun around though. San Diego jammer also routed down to the infield. And the clock's gonna blow up on the jam. Five-point jam there for Quiver Phoenix.
Here comes LA Mayhem for the Hotshots, and that's Taffy for the Wildfires. Both teams at full strength out there.
And there goes Taffy along the inside. Manages to find a clear route to the corner, and Taffy is your lead jammer for the Wildfires. Ellie Mayhem able to clear the pack as well for the Hotshots. Taffy out of the front of the pack for San Diego, able to dodge that last block. You can see that last blocker for Arizona. Just about got there in time and was cursing her poor luck afterwards. San Diego jammer on her way through and called the jam after picking up her 4 points. That's going to be Bryn Diesel on the jammer line for San Diego.
That's Hurricane May for the Wildfires, for the Hotshots. My God. Both jammers tied up in a slow pack right now.
Very tightly bunched pack. Now separates into a couple of lobes with Hurricane May pinned in behind some San Diego defenders. And those Arizona defenders united at the front as well. And Hurricane May now, they're able to use her own defenders, kind of like a pick play. And got that defender stuck on the backside of the wall and able to get through. So Hurricane May lead jammer for Arizona. Bryn Diesel to the front of the pack and delivered to the infield. I believe that was Lightning the Queen delivering a block there.
Lightning and Dolly Spartan doing a good job holding that jammer. Heartland coming to the line for the Wildfires, and pretty hurt machine for the Hotshots. A hush goes over the crowd. Heartland taken up to the rail. Hurt trying the low and the high. Both jammers trying all kinds of different directions, trying to find their way. Princess Leia tries to put a hit on Heartland, ends up falling herself. All those blockers pushed out of play, and Heartland gets out. She's your lead jammer. Hurt tries to follow her through, and the last San Diego blocker holds her up. But they too are out of play, and Heartland sets up her scoring pass, weaving her way through all of these blockers for the Hotshots. gets through, collects her 4th point, and calls off the jam.
4 points on the board for San Diego, brings them to 21 here. 10 minutes to go until halftime. We're looking at Nikki Badaz on the jammer line for Arizona. San Diego, that is going to be Stiletto, your team captain. And this jam is underway. Stiletto trying to play some jammer defense and get in the way of Nikki Badaz, but Nikki able to find her way along the inside, and she's out and clear. Nikki Badaz, your lead jammer for Arizona. Stiletto up to the outside, trying to find her way along the rail, then ducks down to the inside. Nikki Badaz took a spill there coming through the corner and kind of inadvertently got sort of slid in front of the San Diego jammer there. It was kind of an inadvertent obstacle. And Nikki Badaz able to get through the pack on a scoring pass. Got 17 seconds left in this jam.
Lightning the Queen and Skid Vicious trying to hold that San Diego jammer for the last time, but they're pushed out of play. Nikki Badass sizing up her opponents. Wisely calls off the jam.
6 points scored there by Nikki Badaz. So it looks like
low block called on the Arizona jammer, Nikki Badass.
yeah, there we go. So we do have a challenge. So the Arizona Hotshots are going to be challenging that low block call on their jammer, which was about to lead to a San Diego power jam. So the referees getting together in the back straightaway to discuss that, and we will let you know what they arrive at.
Hey folks, have you seen the amazing team signs in the warehouse? Above and Beyond Pallet Creations takes pallets and gives them a second life. For more information or to commission some work, see Bobby Ross, the coach of the Schoolyard Scrappers. You can also look up Above and Beyond Pallet Creations on Facebook. Above and Beyond Pallet Creations.
To clarify, the challenge is challenges of a cut penalty. We'd heard low block, but apparently it is a cut penalty, so that is what they're challenging. We'd also like to let you know that for the month of February, the Arizona Derby Dames are working with Feed My Starving Children, a local nonprofit that feeds hungry and malnourished children all over the world. This month, skaters from the Arizona Derby Dames will be volunteering to pack food boxes to send to starving children. Please come volunteer with us on Wednesday, February 27th from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. For more information, please go to their website at fmsc.org. And I can tell you, from experience, I went, it was actually fun. You scoop things and put them in a bag.
Yeah.
It's simple, it's fun, it gets competitive. People start getting really competitive. You get angry. There's
a good time was had by all.
Dried grains flying back. And, no, I kid. It was a lot of fun, yeah.
Solid. Hey, if you want us to talk about you up here while we're doing one of these bouts, are you interested in being a season sponsor for the Derby Dames? We have several different sponsor packages available to suit your needs with many benefits that you can choose from. Find any Arizona Derby Dame today, and they can point you in the right direction for sponsorship questions and information on how to become a sponsor as our league sponsors for the Arizona Derby Dames. And you know what, while the referees are out there talking, are you interested in standing out there and talking? You can be a part of the roller derby community, but maybe hitting people isn't your thing. Our regulators are always looking for dedicated and eager minds to learn our rule set and help keep our ladies on the track safe. We couldn't do this without you, and our regulator team accepts all gender types. There are various levels of officiating that go on during a roller derby bout. Come be a part of the action and help our league grow. Ask any skater or ref how to get involved, and you too can have one of the best seats in the house. That's the real benefit.
right, it looks like the challenge is complete. Outside pack referees have scattered to the far corners of the oval. And we are getting the word now from the infield up here right now in the announcer's nest. All right, we've got the official word. After review, the call is overturned. Challenge successful. So Arizona's challenge successful, and the penalty was overturned. So no penalty, excuse me, no power jam for San Diego. Witchy Woman number 666, your team captain, is on the jammer line for Arizona, but blasting out of there is the San Diego Jammer so fast I did not even see who it was.
That's Taffy out there. Taffy's got about a half
Yeah.
of a track lead over Witchy Woman. And she comes up on her scoring pass and comes into a solid 3-wall of hot shots.
Witchy up to the outside, and
She calls that jam going down. Now that's dedication.
And Witchy Woman able to steal a point there on the back end of that and put a point on the board for Arizona. No points for San Diego. However, this will now lead to a power jam for San Diego. There we are. We're getting the reporting there where Witchy Woman called for a penalty there towards the end of that jam.
That's your Captain Stiletto out there for the Wildfires.
So a power jam for San Diego and a plum opportunity for them to get some points on the board halfway through the second quarter here.
She's trying to make her way through a full pack of blockers for both teams.
Now pushed up to the front of the pack, trying to find her way through at the front. Now got a blocker trying to get through there and clear some space. Diagonally, that pivot slashes down through and pops her jammer free. Stiletto is out of the pack.
With about a half a minute left, her teammates were able to save her and get her out.
And Stiletto bumped off onto the infield there, trying to jump the apex.
Hurricane May saw that coming.
And there again, trying to get through on the inside. Hurricane May right in the way and says, here's the infield for you. And that's going to do it for the jam.
Hurricane May used to skate with our minors team, our juniors team, the Minor Assaults. She's been doing this for years, and she saw that jammer coming. A couple of failure to reform penalties out there. Both teams down one blocker.
We've got number 4, Bryn Diesel out there for San Diego, and Milani Mangler, number 192 for Arizona. Milani Mangler is out and clear and is your lead jammer. Bryn Diesel runs into an Arizona blocker, gave it up to make the block, knocked her off onto the infield briefly. Milani Mangler finishing up her scoring pass, and now Milani Mangler's going to try to get through and gets down there and gets the jammer point. Milani Mangler says, I am not done, however, and she's going to see what she can get, but goes ahead and calls it off after seeing those two San Diego blockers united at the back of the pack.
And here comes Lightning the Queen.
Lightning the Queen set up the jam for Arizona.
That's Heartland out there for the Wildfires.
Lightning the Queen, another recent graduate of our Minor Assaults program here. This is her first season on the adult Hot Shots team. And Lightning the Queen able to make her way past those last couple of defenders with 35 seconds to go in this jam. San Diego Jammer still hemmed in there in the back of the pack, trying to tiptoe by along the inside and bumped off to the infield. Lightning the Queen to the outside along the rail and able to get right through the pack. The star has been passed by San Diego, and then that jammer is leveled, knocked down to the infield. That's number 360, Isabel Ringer. Lightning the Queen down along the inside and gets through and is clear. So we've got Isabel Ringer has taken over as jammer for San Diego. Setting up the jam now for Arizona, number 772, Al annihilates ya. San Diego jammer, a little far away and did not catch who that was.
That's Taffy out there for
Taffy?
the
Okay.
Wildfires. Taffy gets leveled and sent to the infield by Hot Shots, but they got to let her go because they're out of play.
Al annihilates ya now, manages to spin her way around. A blocker for San Diego, gets through, gets her points, and calls off the jam.
Skating backwards through the pack. That's Al annihilates ya. Skid Vicious coming to the line for the Hot Shots.
And for San Diego, we have Stiletto at the jammer line.
Both jammers eyeing each other as they're approaching the pack there. Skid Vicious, though, finds her way through, and Stiletto's stuck at the back of the pack, stuck behind Hurricane May and who else was there? Dolly Spartan.
And Skid Vicious doing work on the front end of the pack. They're able to negotiate her way through 4 San Diego blockers and get through on a scoring pass. And the star has been passed by San Diego. Taking over is number 360, Isabel Ringer. Skid Vicious knocked off stride there coming into the corner and goes ahead and calls off the jam. .12 jam for the Hot Shots puts Arizona over the century mark with 2:07 to go in the second quarter. Your score right now, 104-23, Arizona on top. On the jammer line for Arizona, it's Hollywood.
And here comes Bryn Diesel for San Diego Wildfires. Hollywood tries the low but gets knocked out of play. Bryn Diesel still pushing on the front of the pack, and she's out first. She's your lead jammer.
Bryn Diesel out and clear for San Diego. Hollywood pinned in behind a couple of San Diego defenders in the back, and Bryn Diesel up to the outside, weaves to the outside up, runs into the Arizona wall at the front end of the pack now.
Riled up and cheap trick, we're trying to hold off Hollywood. Nobody holds off Hollywood.
And the Arizona wall came together, but Bryn Diesel able to find a weak point and get her way through, so she's through on a scoring pass. 20 seconds left in the jam. Bryn Diesel coming around for seconds. And at this point now, the Arizona jammer, Hollywood, is also coming together to help defend. Bryn Diesel bumped off onto the infield. Hollywood now helping to form a 4-wall. And then Bryn Diesel pushed off onto the infield one more time as the clock expires on the jam.
You know, it may not look like she's getting anywhere because she's just getting knocked around, but she's picking off those hot shots 1 point at a time.
And that was a 10-point jam for San Diego. 10 points on the board. Before we get to that, however, and we have a timeout called by Arizona. So we will step aside for one moment from the action here for the Arizona team timeout.
Looks like Hollywood picked up a low block, and Pretty Hurt Machine picked up a failure to reform penalty. Got a power jam coming up for San Diego.
Hey, let's hear it from the crowd. Is there anybody out there in the bleachers that has been here all day long?
Hey!
Give yourself a hand. You deserve it. Is there anybody there that's going to be there all day tomorrow, too, is going to do the whole 24? Yeah? All right.
As they say in the tractor pulling community, that's a full pull.
Well, so far we are just shy of halfway through the tournament. I'm pretty much existing on Little Debbie snacks already, so tomorrow should be interesting. It is going to be a power jam for San Diego, and that's Captain Stiletto on the jammer line for San Diego here. Each team with 3 blockers out there.
Promptly sent Killen May Smalls out to the infield.
Yeah, that was a really abrupt collision there, and Killen May Smalls ended up deep onto the infield. Stiletto, active scorer, now coming by on a scoring pass. Weaves her way up and up to the rail and gets pinned to the rail there by that last Arizona blocker, but they're out of play, so they let her on through.
Nikki Badass and Lightning the Queen out there trying to hold Stiletto one last moment.
25 seconds to go here in the San Diego Power Jam, and it's going to be the last jam of the second quarter as the quarter clock has expired.
Pushing them out of play, but that may burn off enough time to keep her from getting any more points. 10 seconds left, and it's a slow pack. She might be able to score.
San Diego's got the goat pinned in behind there. Killen May Smalls is pinned in behind that wall of San Diego blockers, so that let them hold up the pace of play. And Lightning the Queen able to redirect her onto the infield with Nikki Badass at the front of the pack one last time.
Could have been about 13 or 14 points. 14.
So with the 14 points on the board for San Diego heading into the half, your score is Arizona 104, San Diego 47. We will step aside for a 15-minute halftime break, and we'll be right back with you with the conclusion of this, the last bout of the evening.
When the weather turned and it was windy, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I had a coffee flavored one, and I was like hitting that thing every hour. I was working the drive-through at my coffee house. Ugh.
Yeah, there are times when I don't miss working outdoors, and it's usually July and August.
Right?
And then, like, you know, right about now, like, is it just cold, wet?
What? Not much.
All right.
I got that seltzer out in the car.
I'm loving LaCroix.
Oh.
Is San Diego tired?
What?
Is San Diego tired?
It seems like maybe a little.
Seems like maybe a lot. I haven't seen any of them stay on their feet the whole time.
It's a different set of names. I don't recognize half of these people. I mean, who the fuck is Heartland?
Okay,
Heartland's been skating forever.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay,
Heartland
I haven't.
was one of their jammers last year.
I remember the number seemed familiar.
Yeah,
Did she change her name?
No?
No? Okay, my
But
bad.
she,
was the one-
she came out from their minors not too long ago.
No, that's her.
That's riled up.
Oh,
Minor.
I thought Heartland did too.
Isabel Ringer's been on for a while. Eleanor was a minor. Bryn Diesel, I think, is new. I've seen Tiger Lily. Slamurai, of course, Hetty the Scar. Wreckham Ralph has been around forever.
She's been playing
Yeah.
for a while too. She's the tall one.
I mean, they may be playing, but I just don't remember them as a Wildfire necessarily.
But still, they were playing LA and they were down 30 points.
Right?
All right, Derby fans, just a couple of minutes left until we get done with halftime and get back to the action. Wanted to remind you that tomorrow night, at the conclusion of festivities tomorrow evening, the party doesn't stop. In fact, it continues at the after party. And that's going to be at Third Space, just like it is after every bout here at the Hall of Dames. Third Space on the corner of 11th Avenue and Grand, just around the corner from here, in fact. Fantastic little bar with a cafe and an ice cream shop, ice cream stuffed donut. I've heard somebody, at some point I heard somebody say that the ice cream stuffed donut is really good. I'm just kidding, it's a lot of people. But that'll be the official after party tomorrow night once again. So if you're planning to be with us tomorrow, make plans to join us at the after party as well. And get your 3-day weekend on, if you get the 3-day weekend off, that is. Glad that tomorrow I'm just going to be like working.
All right, Derby fans, here we come. Last 10 seconds or so of halftime. Your Arizona Hotshots are leading your Wildfires 104-47. Still pretty close, though. Going to start with the Wildfires down one blocker.
And they've been whistled up to the track, and it looks like we're going to start off on the jammer line with Stiletto jamming for San Diego. And jamming for Arizona is going to be Princess Leia. And there we are underway. Both jammers hemmed in mid-pack. San Diego's jammer kind of bumped out the back of the pack. Princess Leia around the outside and is your lead jammer for the Arizona Hotshots. And racing her way to the front of the pack, there goes Stiletto. She's out and clear for San Diego as well. Got some ground to make up, though. Princess Leia runs into the first blocker and bumped off into the infield and finds an opening along the inside, gets through, picks up her points, and does her level best to call off the jam. And looks like she was successful. 0 points for San Diego.
Here comes Taffy for the Wildfires, and that's Hurricane May for the Hotshots. Stiletto gets knocked to the infield by Lightning the Queen. And then knocked down along with Skid Vicious. Both jammers trying to work their way through the packs, but
and there goes Taffy, and Taffy is clear and is your lead jammer for San Diego. Taffy making her way around now and approaching a 3-wall of Arizona defenders at the back of the pack. Hurricane May emerges in the front of the pack and is clear as well. Taffy's trying to battle her way along the rail, and no give there from that 4-wall of Arizona defenders. Taffy trying to pick up a couple of points, seeing if she can get her hips in front of a couple of them and calls off the jam. And in fact, Taffy picks up 2 points for San Diego.
Hurricane May really fast around the track, putting the pressure on. Makes Taffy call it off at the last second, only 2 points. We've
got Pretty Hurt Machine jamming for Arizona, and for San Diego, that's Bryn Diesel. Bryn Diesel was quickly to the front of the pack, but ran into 2 Arizona defenders that held her up, and there goes Pretty Hurt Machine. Out and clear is your lead jammer for Arizona. Bryn Diesel still trying to get cleared there, and the 2 blockers called out of play, so Bryn Diesel shakes loose for San Diego. Now the pack reuniting and coming back together. And the jam is called. Pretty Hurt Machine signaling the jam off.
Stiletto coming to the line for the Wildfires. That's Nikki Badass for the Hot Shots.
Nikki Badass to the front of the pack. Runs into a San Diego defender there, trying to get herself shaken loose.
Quiver Phoenix and Dolly Spartan getting to the front of the pack, trying to make something happen and hold the San Diego jammer for one last second, but she's able to get out.
And we are going to have a stoppage in play here. Referees are coming together to discuss here very briefly.
Oh, ouch.
Setting up to jam now for Arizona is going to be number 1, Ellie Mayhem. And that appears like it's going to be Taffy for San Diego. But before we get to that, and there is going to be an official timeout. So we're going to go over some of the penalties there. Penalty board very busy after that last jam. So we'll get everything straightened out, cleared up, and get the word to you here momentarily.
Hey, folks, mark your calendar. Season 14 heats up with our next bout on March 9th. This game's going to be a doubleheader featuring 4 of our home teams from the Arizona Derby Dames. Start the night off, the Season 13 champions, the Runaway Brides, will be fighting with those playground bullies, the Schoolyard Scrappers. You don't want to miss this matchup here. The second game of the night is going to be the Morglove and Coffin Draggers against the post-apocalyptic Doomsday Valkyries. All of that right here in the Hall of Dames on March 9th.
Don't forget Derby fans. Don't forget Derby fans. Fans with an F. I may be announcing my 4th bout of the day, but that does not excuse me from calling you Derby pans. Don't forget Derby fans. Our food options, if you're planning to join us tomorrow, Off the Hook Taco Truck will be here all day long, cranking it up as the action is getting started tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We'll be serving breakfast options early on and delicious fish tacos, chicken tacos, vegetarian options, and whatnot. All throughout the day, we have our Fantasy Funnel Cake trailer. The Fantasy Funnel Cake people are out there making all sorts of fried snacks, so amazing warm churros. So good. You've got Copper Star Coffee will be here in the morning serving up breakfast bagel sandwiches and amazing warm coffee to get you all nice and warmed up once you get here in the morning. Just some of the fantastic options we have for food tomorrow, not to mention the snack bar. Back to it now, Ellie Mayhem for Arizona, Taffy for San Diego. And they are both through the pack. Taffy emerges first and is lead jammer for San Diego. Ellie Mayhem gaining steadily, and that jam is called off by Taffy.
Ellie Mayhem hot on her tail right there. Got Bryn Diesel and Skid Vicious coming back to the line to jam against each other again. Quick jams like that. Both teams are at full strength now.
San Diego defender taking a tumble there behind the play, knocked down. Skid Vicious still trying to find an opening. San Diego defenders have come together there and conspiring to prevent her from proceeding on, as defenders like to do. Skid Vicious, though, able to find an opening, but gets bumped off onto the infield. Meanwhile, up towards the front, Bryn Diesel trying to get her way on through the pack for San Diego was knocked onto the infield, but up and recovered. We've got 20 seconds to go in the jam. Neither jammer clear yet. Bryn Diesel trying to make it to the corner. Skid Vicious gets back up on the track there behind everybody else and is trying to find a way through. Meanwhile, up at the front of the pack, we did have a star pass. And taking over as jammer for San Diego
Was Heartland.
was Heartland, the pivot. But once again, a moot point as the clock expired. 9.5 minutes to go here.
Here comes Stiletto for the Wildfires now.
Excuse me, 9.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Should specify the amount of time that was left and, give you a frame of reference.
Milani Mangler for the Hot Shots now. Both jammers having to work through a lot of people at the back of the pack. Milani Mangler taken down to the infield for a second.
And Milani Mangler just about clear there, but bumped off onto the infield by Cheap Trick, who then takes a tumble herself. Out and clear as the lead jammer is Stiletto. Milani Mangler's got her in her sights, though. Two skaters with strikingly similar hairstyles. Stiletto leaps over part of the turn, gets through, gets her points, and calls off the jam.
Milani Mangler sticking with it. She might have picked up a point there at the end of the jam.
Setting up the jam now, it's going to be Hurricane May for Arizona. For San Diego, that is Taffy.
Taffy barreling through the middle and down low. Hurricane May sticking with her, and she gets out on the high side. Taffy gets jammed up behind a couple of hot shot blockers, including Lightning, Skid Vicious, and Dolly Spartan. Hurricane May comes up on the back of the pack, skating through, cutting her way through.
And the star has been passed for San Diego. Hurricane May completes the scoring pass and calls off the jam. So we get ready for the next jam here. 7.5 minutes to go, halfway through the third quarter. Arizona 115, San Diego 53. Jamming for San Diego, starting off as jammer for the first time, is Isabel Ringer. She has taken over as jammer a couple of times. And for Arizona, that's Pretty Hurt Machine. Pretty Hurt Machine quickly to the front of the pack, able to get out, and she is your lead jammer. Clear of the pack for Arizona. Isabel Ringer trying to find her way through, but gets pinned to the guardrail by one of the Arizona defenders. A lot of action going on there. I was trying to watch two things at once, which led me to be unable to talk. Sorry. So Pretty Hurt Machine gets through on a scoring pass. Meanwhile, also Isabel Ringer had a collision there with a blocker that was out of play, so we'll have to wait for that to get sorted out once that is over. Pretty Hurt Machine pinned up to the rail, spun up into the rail by one of the San Diego defenders, and Pretty Hurt Machine calls off the jam at that point. 6 points on the board for Arizona. Setting up the jam is going to be Dolly Spartan for Arizona, and for San Diego, that is Bryn Diesel.
Bryn Diesel getting out there in front first. Dolly Spartan getting by Heartland right there. About 20 feet between them. Bryn Diesel thinks she can score some points real quick. She turns around, calls off that jam. Neither team able to score on that jam.
It's a good, strong defense on the back of the pack there by Arizona, prevented any points from being scored. Setting up the jam now. Again, the battle of the braid. It's Milani Mangler for Arizona and Stiletto for San Diego.
Milani Mangler trying the high side up by the rail.
And Stiletto fighting her way to the front of the pack. Just about got through there, but bumped off onto the infield by that Arizona pivot down there in the corner.
Taken down to the infield by Alan Hecha and Ellie Mayhem. Trying to push those blockers out further and further. Both jammers are out together.
And there, Milani Mangler able to get out of the pack, and Milani Mangler halfway through the jam is your lead jammer. Stiletto really getting the worst of it in the corner right now. Just tumbled head over heels down the bank of the track and into the infield. Milani Mangler is now trying to work her way through along the rail for Arizona and is able to get clear of the pack. Stiletto still trying to fight her way through and bumped off one more time by Ellie Mayhem, knocked onto the infield. Milani Mangler now approaching the pack one more time with 5 seconds to go in the jam to see if she can get some more points on the board for the Hot Shots as the star is passed by San Diego and the jam clock expires. 5 points on the board for Arizona as the result of all of that.
Arizona going to skate this next jam down 2 blockers as Taffy and Hurricane May come to the line to jam.
And Taffy up to the outside, and Taffy out and clear as lead jammer, and then the track monster reach up and bit her. Took a tumble there, but is up and clear again and up on her skates. Hurricane May along the inside, bumps into a defender, trying to outrun them to the corner, tiptoes along the inside and clinging to the inside with her toe blocks, trying to shake free. Taffy a little more trouble this time, bumped into those defenders in the back of the pack, knocked her off stride for a moment, but she gets clear and then calls off the jam after picking up her points.
San Diego trying to get something started late here in the third. Plenty of time left on the clock, though, as Bryn Diesel comes to the line against Holly Hood.
And it looks like this is instead going to be a power jam. Penalties all lined up, and we did have a penalty on the San Diego jammer in the last jam. So Holly Hood out there by her lonesome, and she'll be doing the power jam for Arizona. Arizona immediately shifts into a power jam, more of a power jam strategy, trying to get their jammer free. Holly Hood quickly to the front of the pack, trying to find a seam there between those San Diego defenders. And Holly Hood manages to cling to the inside of the track, literally on 2 wheels, skating backwards on her off foot. I don't even know, man. Holly Hood now to the outside, trying to get through the pack, and is through on a scoring pass. I mean, by which I mean I can barely go down a flight of stairs, let alone put wheels on my shoes and roll backwards through people at 40 miles an hour. I love roller derby. Holly Hood now to the inside, weaving her way through up to the outside. Solid line of San Diego defenders there with 7 seconds to go in the Arizona power jam. Holly Hood routed down to the infield. Gonna get back up and reestablish behind that last San Diego defender as the clock expires. 7 hard-fought points on the board for Arizona there in the power jam.
Bryn Diesel and Hurricane May out there to jam now. Still a minute and a half left in the third. 133 to 57. San Diego's not out of this yet, guys. They got plenty of time. Lots of weapons to use.
Yeah, good defensive effort there on the power jam by San Diego. It was a lot of action, but anytime you can keep a power jam in single digits, that's a pretty good defensive effort. Hurricane May quickly to the front of the pack and able to emerge as lead jammer for Arizona.
Bryn Diesel tied up by Lightning the Queen and Dolly Spartan, trying to push them out of the way. Hurricane May taken to the infield by San Diego's blockers. Heartland giving her a run for her money. Bryn Diesel able to get out now.
Arizona defenders in the front end now waiting for the pack to come back together, and that is going to do it for the jam.
San Diego's not giving up on blocking, and Hurricane May calls off that jam.
And we are setting up for what will be the last jam of the third quarter here. Almost certainly be the last jam of the third quarter. And it's going to be Stiletto for San Diego and Princess Leia for Arizona. We are underway. Princess Leia blasts her way down along the inside, able to get through along the inside coping of the track, and she's lead jammer for Arizona. Gonna get down to the pack now, trying to find her way through. Princess Leia down to the inside, and she calls off the jam. And that is indeed going to do it. We are at the quarter break as per the signal from game executioner Freya Hugs. We'll step aside for 5 minutes, get a chance to catch our breath and get back to you. Once again, your score, Arizona 138, San Diego 57. 15 minutes of game action to go on the first day of Chingadera 2019. All right, Derby fans, we're just about ready to get back underway here. Less than a minute to go until the resumption of action. So we will get back into it. 15 minutes to go in this game. Arizona currently on top 138 to 57. Hard fought quarter there for both sides. Very little offensive output to be had in the third quarter. It turned into a very, very defensive minded struggle. And we'll start things off with Taffy on the jammer line for San Diego. And the jammer for Arizona is Dolly Spartan. And just like that, we're underway.
Taffy off to a running start there, trying to get through the pack.
Dolly Spartan low to the ground, had her head down and found an opening, managed to slide her way through. Taffy able to find an opening along the outside there and gets to the front of the pack, so she's out and clear. Dolly Spartan is going to take advantage of a spread out pack to try to push that last San Diego defender a little further out of play. Does so, spins off him, gets the point, calls off the jam. 4 points on the board for Arizona.
Mr. Wildfire captain Stiletto out there right now.
And for
Princess Leia for the hot
Leia.
shots. Princess Leia tries the low, gets knocked to the inside. But
And
she's able to get out in turn two, and she's off to the races.
San Diego jammer still mired mid-pack amongst some Arizona defenders trying to find some purchase and find her way through is Stiletto, and being pushed off onto the infield once again.
Princess Leia able to build up speed super fast. And just like that, she's already around the track, and she's back trying to score points. Not really able to find a path through the blockers for San Diego and calls off that jam.
Now setting up in the jammer line is going to be Hurricane May for Arizona and Bryn Diesel for San Diego. Both jammers taking a second to eyeball each other on the way up to the pack there, and then trying to find an opening. Bryn Diesel mid-pack trying to find a way on the outside. Hurricane May runs around a defender, a couple of San Diego defenders on the ground. Hurricane May to the front of the pack and is your lead jammer for Arizona. And a big collision there at the front of the pack. Nikki Badass and the San Diego pivot coming together. Hurricane May is mid-pack trying to find her way through. San Diego jammer is incognito at the moment. There we are. It's been a star pass. Taking over as jammer for San Diego is Hartland, and Hartland able to kind of evade detection there and tiptoe through to get through the pack. But Hurricane May calls off the jam at that point. I know it's cold up here because the freaking microphone is getting
Yeah. Oh, no.
it's getting condensation on the microphone because of how close I talk to it.
Right.
So 4 points on the board there for Arizona. Setting up to jam now is going to be Tiger Lily for San Diego. And Tiger Lily is through and clear for San Diego and is your lead jammer. Pretty Hurt Machine is the jammer for Arizona, and she's out of the pack as well, but half a track behind. So Tiger Lily now going to try to catch up to the pack and see if she can get some points on the board, but those Arizona defenders are united on the front of the pack and trying to play keep away. Tiger Lily now attempting to get through there. Pretty Hurt Machine coming through the corner and just threw herself headlong trying to get in front of a couple of skaters. That is giving it up, trying to get some points on the board. Amazing effort there by Pretty Hurt Machine. And cancels out the production. It's a net gain of none. 3 points for both sides on the board.
Here comes Lightning the Queen and Taffy for jamming for San Diego.
Taffy's had some success today at Jammer for San Diego, and it looks like we have had a whistle. And we're going to have an official timeout.
Referee's taking away the punch bowl just as the party's getting started.
Okay, so San Diego is challenging. They have gone to the referees, which led to the stoppage in play. Apparently they were trying to get that issued before the jam had started. So the referees together in the back straightaway to talk it over.
Hey, if you're interested in being part of the roller derby community, but helping people isn't, hitting people isn't your thing, our regulators are always looking for dedicated and eager minds to learn our rule set and help keep our ladies on the track safe. Our regulator team accepts all gender types, and there are various levels of officiating that go on during a roller derby bout. Come be a part of the action, help our league grow. Ask any skater or referee how to get involved.
Many of these same teams you're seeing here at the Chingadera tournament, you will see also at the Battle on the Bank tournament in Houston, Texas, hosted by Southside Roller Derby in late June, so about 4 months from now. Not just the adult teams, but there is also a minors tournament. And our minor assaults from our hometown Arizona Derby Dames League will be there to defend their title. If you're a young lady between the ages of 10 and 17 who loves to skate, or do you know one? Our minor assaults are a nonprofit 501c3 and are always looking for new skaters to join their team. Our coaches not only teach technique and knowledge of the sport, but they also help build leadership, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that will help in life situations far beyond roller derby. Minor skating skills, dedication to learn, and a positive mental attitude are all that we require. Come see what all the fun is about. Ask any Arizona Derby Dame how to get involved, or visit our website at azddinspire.org for information on donating to or sponsoring the minor assaults. All right, so the official word from the referee crew up here is that we are resetting the jam entirely, no challenge. So jam reset, we will be getting back underway here. So we will pretend like that never happened. And on the jammer line, it is going to be Lightning the Queen for Arizona.
That's Tiger Lily for the Wildfires. First time seeing her on the jammer line tonight.
And emerging from the front of the pack is Lightning the Queen for Arizona, able to get out of the pack. Tiger Lily now out of the pack as well for San Diego. Lightning the Queen quickly up to the pack, trying to find an opening, dances her way around a couple of defenders and calls off the jam. And setting up now to jam for San Diego is going to be Taffy, number 408 for Arizona. Princess Leia for Arizona. And
Princess Leia straight out on the low side.
Leia just sprinted to the front there, able to find an opening and ran right through it. Taffy again to the front of the pack and gets those blockers out of play, and Taffy's able to shake loose. Princess Leia delivered to the ground. Hard hit there from a defender for San Diego. It looked like that was Cheap Trick that delivered that hit.
Big hit, and she calls off the jam and keeps on calling it off.
And making her way gracefully up to the jammer line for Arizona's Hurricane May, number 101. Recovers well enough to dance, so full recovery.
We see Stiletto out there again.
Hurricane May towards the back of the pack, still trying to find her way through and bump down to the infield. Stiletto out the front of the pack, and Stiletto's your lead jammer for the San Diego Wildfires. Hurricane May now tried to find her way through, bumped onto the infield by that San Diego pivot, now runs into her again. Stiletto trying to find her way through the pack and is able to do so, gets through on a scoring pass. Halfway through this jam, 30 seconds to go. Stiletto coming around for some more with Hurricane May still pinned in at the back.
Riled up, keep on knocking Hurricane May around. Those two do have a history together. It's not the first time they've skated against each other.
Well, that turned into a jammer race that you don't usually see at that point in a jam, but the two jammers trying to get back to the pack. Hurricane May proving to be a little too fleet of foot there, so Stiletto calls it off.
Hurricane May not ready and willing to give up her point.
9 points on the board for Stiletto there. And the San Diego Wildfires now jamming for the Wildfires, number 4, Bryn Diesel.
That's a pretty hurt machine out there for the hot shots.
And Pretty Hurt Machine able to find her way through along the inside there in the first turn. And Pretty Hurt Machine clear of the pack. Your lead jammer for Arizona. Quickly to the front of the pack now, Bryn Diesel able to get those last two Arizona blockers out of play, and Bryn Diesel clear as well. And Pretty Hurt Machine calls off that jam with the San Diego jammer coming in and coming in hot. Jamming now for San Diego, that's going to be Taffy. And for Arizona, that is Dolly Spartan. Both jammers quickly up to the pack and just kind of absorbed into it there. Now separating out, Dolly Spartan up into the kick rail along the outside of the track. Heard that sound of that sharp report of toe block hitting kick rail over there. Taffy still trying to do battle along the outside, has run into those Arizona defenders. Lightning the Queen seems like she's had her way up along the front of the pack there with the Arizona defense most of the day. Trying to fight her way through. Taffy manages to get by Skid Vicious, and Taffy is your lead jammer for San Diego with 16 seconds to go here in the jam. Dolly Spartan is still trying to get her way along the outside. Slammerai making sure that door is closed, or slammed, I should say. There goes Taffy on a scoring pass. Dolly Spartan able to get out the front of the pack. Taffy now trying to fight her way through, and the clock expires. As the clock ticks down, 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in regulation. We are looking at Tiger Lily for San Diego and Princess Leia for Arizona.
Princess Leia sees some daylight on the low part of the track, but she's not able to take advantage of it. Tiger Lily pressing her way to the front of the pack, trying desperately to press those Arizona blockers out of play. As Princess Leia skates around the low, and she gets out first. She's your lead jammer.
Tiger Lily still trying to fight her way through along the front of the pack for San Diego. Those Arizona defenders have held her in check so far. Princess Leia thought she had a free pass along and was bumped down to the ground, but the person who bumped her off the track also slid off the track, so Princess Leia gets waved on by. And the delivery of another San Diego defender to the infield by that Arizona front wall with just a couple seconds left in this jam. Princess Leia racing through along the inside and completes that scoring pass before the clock expires.
Tiger Lily ran out of gas there and passed that star off to her.
8 points for Arizona there, but before we proceed on to the next jam, we are going to have an official timeout.
Arizona still only 100 points out in front of San Diego. San Diego's really matched them point for point in this second half.
The referee's going to discuss here some of the goings on in the previous jam. So we will take a moment. Once again, we would like to take a second on behalf of everybody involved here at Chingadera to thank all the volunteers that have come together to put their time and effort into putting this tournament on. You know, this is entirely volunteer driven and could not be done without everybody's effort. And everybody's too tired to clap. It's just so sad. Oh, thank you. Oh, come on. You're too kind. Oh, no. Oh, come on now. No. Oh. Oh, please. Oh, gosh.
Wow. Insubordination for Al. On the gold. No, on gold. San Diego Jammer is BP blocking out a play. 99 is arms. I guess. Al? How did Al mouth off? Well,
I'm just, you know what I mean? She runs hot.
right.
Runs hot when she's playing and coaching.
As our referee crew tries to get the penalties sorted out, looks like there might be a jammer penalty on San Diego coming up for blocking out a play.
All right. So we got all the paperwork filled out in triplicate, ready to get back to the game action here. So it is going to be a power jam for Arizona. And doing the honors, number 55, Skid Vicious. And this jam is underway. Skid quickly to the front of the pack there. Those San Diego defenders have come together. And Skid to the outside and able to get by. And is now an active scorer. Skid Vicious now again to the front of the San Diego pack, but pinned up to the rail by the San Diego pivot. Skid Vicious now trying to find her way through the pack and manages to do so and pull off the scoring pass. 20 seconds to go in the Arizona Power Jam. And now Arizona's controlling the pace of play. They've got a San Diego defender pinned in behind that wall. Skid Vicious able to negotiate that and go by on the rail with 8 seconds to go here in the jam. Skid Vicious completing another scoring pass. And the clock is going to go ahead and expire on the jam right there. So a 10-point power jam there.
Like right off the line?
Yeah.
Did that end up getting reset or that counted?
That was a reset.
Okay, so it's I won't post that one then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Setting up now is going to be Bryn Diesel for San Diego.
Witchy Woman for the Hot Shots. The Witchy Woman fan club official members are here. As she gets out on the low, she's your lead jammer.
Witchy Woman, oh captain, my captain. Your Hot Shots captain tonight for this bout. And she is coming around now, looking at her prospects for scoring. Runs into Chief Trick at the back of the pack there. Tries to get through, but signals to call off the jam, heading off the track. So no points for either side. We will set up for the next jam. And we are going to have number 95, Lightning McQueen for Arizona. Your San Diego jammer is Stiletto, team captain.
Lots of blockers in that pack. Lightning the Queen taken down to the infield once and then knocked down a second time. Stiletto able to make her way around the track. She's coming up on the back of the pack on her scoring pass. Dancing around the hot shots. She's hot on Lightning's tail.
Stiletto's going to make a game trying to get that jammer point there, but Lightning the Queen able to keep away from her. So Stiletto calls off the jam. We get down to about a minute left in regulation here. And it is going to be a power jam for San Diego. This jam will be. Penalty picked up by Lightning the Queen. Before we get to that, however, a stoppage in play. So we have a team challenge. Arizona going to challenge a ruling there, likely the ruling that led to the power jam for San Diego, challenging a cut penalty. Cut penalty is shorthand for cut track penalty, which is further shorthand for saying that a skater exited the track and then did not re-enter the track from the infield at the proper place and thereby cut track, as an explanation for you. Although I get the impression that most people at this point are probably fans of roller derby and did not just wander in from the street and need a rules explanation. So,
not with 52 seconds left in the bout.
yeah, we're entertaining the diehards here at this point. So the challenge review continues there along the back straightaway. And we'll get the official word here from the referee crew before we proceed forward. Don't forget, fans, once again, tomorrow night, the official after party. After the party that is Chingadera, the after party is at Third Space. Third Space, of course, a fantastic place where you simply must try the fried bologna sandwich. I'm telling you right now, that fried bologna sandwich is first rate. So Arizona challenged the ruling.
Yeah.
Arizona did challenge the ruling, and a second successful challenge by the Hotshots. Ruling is overturned after review. So no power jam for San Diego. Taffy now joined on the jammer line by Al Annihilatia.
Taffy going straight out on the high side, takes it by the rail. Al Annihilate just skates down below her, gets out on the low side.
Several skaters taking a tumble there. Very staggered out pack here. Taffy able to get out of the pack for San Diego as well. Al Annihilatia fights her way through the pack, trying to call off the jam. San Diego picks up a point there on the back end of that jam. Al Annihilatia puts 4 on the board for Arizona.
What?
And now setting up to jam in what will be the last regulation jam. It's going to be Hurricane May for Arizona and Stiletto for San Diego.
Both teams at full strength for this final jam.
Hurricane May
Good.
quickly out the front of the pack, and she calls off the jam after verifying that the game clock has expired.
Just as Stiletto clears the pack.
So that was the last jam of regulation. We'll check the penalty status here, see if there's going to be any penalty jams assessed after. And head referee Malibu Vader signals that there is no penalty jam to be had, and with a final score of 182-76, victorious are the Arizona Hotshots. Skaters going to come on by here. Hometown crowd letting the Arizona Hotshots hear the support. And now let's get a round of applause going for the San Diego Wildfires. 2 bouts today for everybody.